Fortnite's storyline is finally getting interesting, and it all starts with the return of Sloan, but ends with a huge live event. Let me explain what's going on. After being assumed dead after the Chapter 3 collision event, Dr. Sloan has returned to the island. She's been living deep within this mysterious new jungle biome for quite a while now. With the island collapsing in on itself at the beginning of this season, it's finally revealed her secret location. You can actually see her Titan tank next to her, the same one that she got into that ultimately saved her life while she was smashed in a live event, but unfortunately you can't get in and drive it. Sloan is actually a friendly NPC on the island, and if you specifically interact with her as Gunner, she actually goes ahead and says, "I told you I'm done," which means Sloan has left the imagined order, but don't assume that she's still a good person. Sloan, of course, has a brand new look and is specifically called the Innovator Sloan, and she is definitely up to something. In the new voice line quest, she goes ahead and says that someone has rescued her. She has a plan but needs to move fast, and she's found a stellar project at the ruins that she wants to use for her plans on the island. But what is her plan, and why is she not a good person? Well, Sloan's camp also contains a notebook. Within it, you can find drawings for the symbol that matches up with the Oro and Aurelia skin, along with a picture of a chalice. To understand what this means, you actually have to go ahead and complete the Aura quest lines. You follow a trail of clues and finally end up in a secret tomb near Creaky Compound, where inside you offer up 100 gold bars, which opens up the chest next to it, revealing the golden chalice. Picking up the chalice actually turns you into Aurelia with her pickaxe and back bling, and as cool as that is, the biggest piece of information actually comes within the clues as you lead up to this point. Field notes, assumed to be written down by Sloan herself, talk about the mysterious chalice, with one of them saying that it's a powerful item made by the cubes capable of leveling the island. Yeah, you can see now why Sloan probably isn't up to something good, and why the island is in grave danger. But why would Sloan want to level the island, destroying it completely? Well, in the last season, we saw the Last Reality try and recruit different Fortnite characters to help bring them back to the island, but the plan ultimately failed. This could be the Last Reality's next attempt at returning, using Sloan, who is now no longer a part of the imagined order, to help with their evil mission of returning. Hints at the cubes returning haven't been found just in that field note, but can actually be spotted all over the architecture in the new jungle biome, where you can find diamond and cube-shaped doorways and windows symbolizing those cubes, hinting at their return and role in the future of this chapter. And who's behind the cubes? It's of course the Last Reality, a combination of all the biggest and baddest things that have tried to destroy the Fortnite island, and Fortnite have already been hinting at the Last Reality's return. In the opening cinematic for Season 3, we want to be looking more closely at the bomb flower. When you slow down this footage, the bomb flower looks almost identical to the sideways portals that appeared in Chapter 2, Season 8. And back then, that was when we had the huge invasion of the cubes. The effects of these bomb flowers, the coloring, the way that they expand, they all match up perfectly. But how are the Last Reality going to suddenly end up on the Fortnite island? Well, they actually almost returned at the beginning of the chapter as we put together the Rift Gate, which should link together all other realities. That Rift Gate almost opened up and brought all of the evil things back onto the island. These include the evil cubes, the motherships, and of course the leader herself, the Cube Queen. Last time we saw these guys was at the end of Chapter 2 live event, where we saw just how vast their army is and how scary their forces could be. Luckily, the Rift Gate was destroyed before any of this could return, but found within the brand new jungle biome is a very similar brick-made Rift Gate that currently looks damaged, but with a new Rift Gate on the island. If this is restored back to working condition, this could be the portal that allows the Last Reality to return to the island. The Rift Gate's location on the island seems very specific. Just in front of the Rift Gate can be seen a giant stone sphere, which is actually the return of the 0 point for the first time in this chapter. During both Season 1 and 2 of Chapter 4, the 0 point was hidden within a giant vault at Hidden Henge, underneath the island, unable to be accessed. However, with the collapse of the island, that collapse happened exactly in that area where the 0 point was being stored. The 0 point has entered a brand new phase, a petrified phase. Yeah, it doesn't sound good, does it? And is changed into complete solid stone. Now, as we know, every time the 0 point makes an appearance, a huge live event is around the corner corner as well. But the 0 point hasn't just made its return on the island, it's also secretly found within this season's battle pass. Era's skin has an attachment on her hip that literally contains part of the 0 point. Her skin and emotes are all themed around time, with her Time Sweeper emote and the Ancestral Shift emote featuring the 0 point as well. It's all pointing towards the 0 point's big return and something huge happening on the island. If you actually walk up to this stone version of the 0 point, you can actually hear audio files playing that are literally called in-game petrified sound effects. Whenever the 0 point is petrified, it means something bad's coming to the island. This is backed up by a secret transmission that is currently going out over the Fortnite radio from none other than Optimus Prime himself. It appears the reason that he's on the island is far bigger than just being a cool skin in-game, and actually tied into the fact that the Fortnite island is in danger again. The in-game name for this audio file is Mysterious Message, so let's take a look at what he's got to say.
If you are hearing this message, the time has come to make your escape. This reality is doomed to collapse, but hope is not yet lost. I cannot sustain this broadcast for much longer. Listen, and more will follow.
So it looks like Optimus is going to be continuing to send us messages, but what he said already is that the island is doomed to collapse. And this leads us up to the live event itself. One of the biggest things that cannot be overlooked is all the additional files that were added at the end of last season, specifically related to a volcanic event. This has been theorized since the beginning of a chapter, with one of the mountains on the map set to become active and cause huge damage to the island. Fortnite often add files into the game and then leave them for ages for everyone to forget about, to draw upon them later on, like the volcanic event, for something huge to happen in game. The hints are getting more and more obvious though. Within this season's battle pass are so many references to volcanoes and a very fiery event. So with the last reality trying to make a return, Sloan trying to flatten the island, and a giant volcano set to erupt in the future, when is this live event going to be happening? Normally we've been getting 2 live events per chapter, but in the middle of this chapter, we got nothing. Which means if we don't get something huge at the end of this season, we're most likely set up for a giant end of chapter live event. If you didn't know, the chapters are continuing to set to be finished every year, giving us a new map, a new chapter, and new themes at the end of every single year. It's currently believed that chapter 4 will finish on November the 30th this year. So that could be the date that we see the transition as we go from chapter 4 to 5 and see the huge live event unfold, with this season and the next building up to that huge moment. Let's just hope that live event is better than the end of chapter 3's and as good as the incredible flipped live event at the end of chapter 2. And all the information put together in this video is setting up the live event to be absolutely huge. To make sure you don't miss that event, of course subscribe for all the latest Fortnite information. Talking of which, we're going to be getting tons of new guns, a new boss, and all of that news is in the video on screen right here, so click it to find out more about a crazy new minigun coming to the game. I'll see you over there.